BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. Baseball season is in full swing, and we're into the home stretch for NBA and NHL playoffs. And there's more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news and scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from the MLB, NHL, and UFC. And in between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino. All the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino action. So BetOnline, the game starts here. So did you guys watch Dynamite?
Yes.
Okay.
Number just dropped.
Oh, it did? What is it?
629.
Was that the same as one as last week?
Last week,
I thought it was
629. Yeah.
Can you put up? Do you have the quarter numbers?
No quarters yet. Just yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna show you a spot in this. So the opening thing starts with Cowboy coming out, kind of promo. No quarters yet.
No.
I'm curious to see how this opening segment did.
It always does good.
Okay. Oh, by the way, Joe, let's do this. Okay, no, after this segment, we're going to do this, okay? There's some content that I told you to pull up that we're going to talk about right in this at the beginning here.
Yep.
So Page said he thought he would feel closure where he took a man's hopes and dreams and nearly killed him, but he felt nothing. Felt nothing after the cage master swerve. Said he thought that if he went back to the ring and finished the job would help, but he couldn't. He didn't know why. So he took the anger, bottled up, and unleashed on anyone who got in his way. And Page said it made things bad for everyone around him. He looked into the camera and addressed Swerve. Swerve, I'll never forget what you did to me, and I'll probably never forgive you for it. But for me, I will have to put it behind me. So he's kind of like saying, we need to put our heat behind each other. That was interesting. Ospreay comes out, and Ospreay was dressed nicer than normal, but this still didn't look stylish at all. Bro, how many guys on that show wear a white T-shirt? Under I swear to God, 5 guys on that show had a white T-shirt underneath their shirts, the white T-shirt. So it was hysterical. The crowd was chanting while they were in there staring at each other. Ospreay apologized for interrupting. Says it was strange that this was the first time that they've spoken to one another for as long as they've been there. He's been there over a year, right?
Yeah.
And Ospreay said one of his favorite moments of wrestling is when he took the Dark Order and showed them leadership, what it takes to be a cowboy. As Ospreay said, it was perfect when Page took the support and became AEW World Champion. I thought that verbiage was even bringing up the Dark Order in this, I think, was completely unnecessary. Ospreay said he and the fans saw something last week when Page beat Kyle Fletcher. You smiled again, Ospreay said. And Ospreay added, as much as people want to see Page beat the Demons and regain the title, he's a problem with that. Ospreay said he's not losing. So that while Page was trying to find himself, he tore the place apart and mentioned what Page did to Jeff Jarrett, Daniels, and Swerve. Ospreay said he's been doing all of the media while Page is not. Said it's far too little, too late for Page's redemption because it's about Ospreay's ascension. Then they went face to face, and Don Callis walked out on the stage with his crew. And Callis spoke about how Ospreay shows him how stupid he is every day and asked if he knew what was standing in the ring with him. That's a violent, mentally unstable sociopath who put his mentor in a retirement home and he can't talk. So Ospreay stopped Page from leaving the ring. So, Joe, you got to see the K. Do you have the clip, Joe?
Yeah, you said
Joe Konnan.
Callis was coming in?
I think, okay, so he puts his hand, but Ospreay puts his hand on Page here. Okay?
Right.
Watch. I think Page misses the cue to grab Ospreay's hand. Ospreay gives verbiage. He doesn't grab his hand off of him. Ospreay literally stops and sells with this frustrated look on his face, like, I can't believe he missed the thing. Starts talking again, and then Page remembers his verbiage and supposed to be pull his hand off. Watch this exchange right here.
You said have it set for when Callis comes out, right?
Right. Well, watch. Okay. Okay, now watch the exchange here with Page and Hangman.
You know, Ospreay,
Oh, Page was getting huge heat here too, by the way, Callis.
every day you show me how stupid you are. The stupidest day of your life was when you left the Don Callis family. And just to prove how stupid you are, Will, do you even know what is standing in the ring with you? Do you even know what that is next to you? I'll tell you. That is a violent, mentally unstable sociopath who put his mentor in the retirement home and he can't walk.
Okay, watch this.
Listen, I've had enough of your talking, so why don't you do me a favor? Bring any of your two guys down here right now, and me and...
Okay, watch. He stops because now watch him repeat this.
Who of your guys down here right...
Okay. Now he grabbed his arm.
Oh, wait a minute now.
So this was weird. Okay.
Guys down here right...
I was gonna go back and look at it again. But you want me to keep going?
Did you see that, Konnan?
Yeah, but I don't think it's weird because he's like,
No.
take your hands off of me, bro.
No. But he's got his hands on there for a long period.
Yeah, he
of
did.
time.
It was a long time.
Okay,
Yeah.
he delivers the line the first time, and I think what he was supposed to just grab it right
Grab it,
there when he
like
said it.
what?
So then he
Yeah.
stops and you can sound like that. Take Ospreay
He's gonna be
sells
like, yeah,
that
who
you
are
were
you to put
supposed
me
to
in a
grab my
tag
arm
match?
here. So he stops and then he repeats the line again and then he grabs his hand.
Yeah. I also
You know what I'm
think that he
saying? So-
got caught up in the energy of the moment
Right.
and forgot to lose him, as
Right, but
Stevie Ray
him
would say.
holding his hand that long on him, I
Right.
thought was an uncomfortable look.
Right. Yeah, it was.
Right. See, he should be doing it now, and he hadn't done it yet. And now Ospreay's like, all right, let me repeat the
Right.
line again.
Look at him.
Okay, now he grabs a kick. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it was supposed to do it. He didn't, and he hadn't grabbed his arm yet.
And good work
Yeah.
by the camera that they
Right.
caught all that.
Right. What did you think of that?
Can you
that
show the
exchange?
group behind Don Callis, Joe?
Yeah. What is this guy? What are
How-
those white pants?
Can
Bro,
you show
like, seriously.
everybody?
Yeah.
Everybody.
Make it big. Go widescreen, Joe.
Right there, I think. Bro, how JoJo does that team look?
I mean, this is
They don't even
Okay.
look like they hang out together for real.
All right. Since we're bringing that up, okay. So, okay, so Ospreay's dressed a little. He didn't have his gear on, but he's not stylish by any stretch of the imagination. But Hangman's in like his gimmick, okay. Joe, do you have that series of tweets, bro? Dave is finally now bringing this up, okay, about what we have been saying for knows how long on this show. All right. Do you have these tweets, Joe?
Yeah, you said Meltzer's tweets, right?
Yes. Okay. All right. So go no. Go lower.
Mhm.
Okay. So go back up.
Up.
All right. Up. Make some more. Okay. Keep going. All right. Okay. You can and won't admit when you're okay. So click that one right there where it was a printout of oysters. Okay. All right. Dave, Will Ospreay was wearing an iconic designer streetwear brand all the celebrities in the UK have worn for years. You are old and out of touch here. He's like, missed the point. The idea is to look distinctive. So the guy says, you can and won't admit when you're wrong. You never have. So keep going. Joe, go back to the original thing. Okay. So he understands where I come from. It's not okay. Where? Thank God. Keep going. Go down, Joe. Dave makes a good point here. Now go down. Go up. Excuse me. Okay. How can you misinterpret that? I said distinctive look and or wearing distinctive merch. You tell me nobody has their own look on that show nor ever wears their own merch. Bro, Dave is even bringing up how these guys they dress underwhelming and they're not dressed in their gimmick. And how long have we been talking about this? So people are complaining that, well, Cena wore George and Austin wore his kid, but that was their gimmick. That was like their identifiable character. He's like, he like even says in one of these tweets, he goes, he doesn't need to be Flair, but he needs to dress nicer.
Put it up a little
These
bit,
guys-
Joe. I want to read this one.
Yeah.
Wait.
Let me
Where it says
try.
the funny part is.
Yeah.
The funny part is, this is last night's show. We talked about two huge stories. The current administration wanting to cut back funding for brain injuries research. What? As it relates to sports, a huge story with implications to a strong percentage of modern wrestlers and fighters as they get older, as well as a totally uncovered story about Americans spending money on live wrestling. The latter was a gigantic revelation that nobody talks about. Huh?
I don't know. We
Yeah.
gotta go. Okay, we'll just keep going with the show. But it was fun. But Dave is bringing up how these guys aren't like they're not dressed.
Yeah.
You know, but that's something
Well,
obvious.
the way
but,
I
but,
looked
but
at-
people are arguing with him over it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what he looks like. As long as it's like, yeah, but that's not. At one point, he says, you need to look like a star. He's like, I'll actually find it here because I had it.
Yeah, it says the other day a story came out that said the Trump administration proposes an $8 million cut to brain injury research. The proposed cuts are part of billions in reduced funding for the CDC.
Okay, that's fine. We already know what causes traumatic brain injuries when you get hit in the head hard.
Yeah.
We know about CTE. Well, what more? How much more money do you need to research that stuff when we know what the deal is? Like,
Well,
don't get hit in the head
research
hard.
would eventually take us to a place where you can start diagnosing CTE in a live brain. You can't do that,
Right. Right.
After death.
No, I think you can now.
And now?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then there you go.
Okay, let me see here. Get back on point here. Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. Everyone is missing the point. Bret always looked like a star. The others always wore their merch. If you have your own merch that is distinctive, you look like a star. You don't have to be Flair. I specifically said you don't have to be the Hurt Syndicate, but they come out and look like stars, as do Austin, Cena, Reigns, and as Bret did back in the day. He's right. Like I said, you need to their stars on the show need to dress like stars.
Let me give you
I don't
my
know how many
opinion
times you
on
have
this.
to. Go ahead.
So I almost feel like the younger generation, in their eyes, older guys wear, suits and jackets like Christian and the Hurt Business. But when you see, even MJF wearing it, it makes you stand out from everybody else. It makes you look distinguished. And when I saw this guy, Ospreay, I thought, well, thank God he didn't come out and look like workout.
That's his merch,
gear.
though. But that's his
Right.
merch, Yeah,
Yeah, it was
doesn't
workout.
right.
Yeah. And so now at least I thought, okay, he isn't wearing a blazer or suit, but he looks fresh. He looks good.
Right.
Like that's, you know what I'm saying? Like you can tell
Right.
that's an expensive jacket. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Yeah. So
Yeah.
I had no problems with him coming out like that.
Right. But the thing is that the ring, his robes and stuff that he wears to the ring for his matches,
Right.
do not match the persona that he portrays when he comes to ring dressed for these interviews.
That's true.
That's
Right.
the thing. Okay. So then this kind of way. So then they're trying to force FTR heat down everybody's throat because FTR comes to the announcer's desk with Stokely Hathaway. They confront Tony Schiavone. Hathaway asks if Schiavone or Nigel McGuinness had an issue with FTR. Hathaway said FTR apologized to both men, but Schiavone still has negative things to say about him and his team. And Hathaway called Schiavone a decrepit man, pasty. Schiavone stood up and said that was enough. Hathaway shoved him. Schiavone stood up, but Harwood and Wheeler stood in front of Hathaway. Then Wheeler told Schiavone to relax and then shifted the focus to Daniel Garcia's issues with them. Then Wheeler said that whatever is happening at AEW Collision on Thursday would hurt them more emotionally than it would Garcia. Harwood told Schiavone to tell McGuinness they would see him on Thursday's Collision. So they're doing they're doing Pat McAfee and Gunther. They're
Their
countering
version.
with Nigel
Yeah.
McGuinness versus FTR. Or maybe the Nigel McGuinness thing started first, and then they decided to have Gunther and Pat. But the Gunther and Pat done has been better produced than this. Would you agree with that?
100%.
I'm not buying the FTR being with Stokely Hathaway and trying to force them into being heels. So Harley Cameron and Anna Jay, you know what's kind of weird about the girls on this show?
What?
Is the girls all act over the top and like overact in all their gimmicks, like cartoonishly. I mean, Mercedes, the only one that's genuine in her verbiage, okay, is Statlander, Willow Nightingale, but Anna Jay and Harley Cameron are doing
Right.
corny, okay,
And Jamie Hayter.
and Tony Storm is doing over the top thing, but that's her. But
Right.
she's a gimmick. It's a produced gimmick. But like, bro, too many of these girls are not like serious characters.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like they're just like I don't know. It's like it's funny, but like, how do you take all this seriously with funny? You know, like they're all like clowning.
Because they're
out
young
there.
girls and they think, they don't understand. Now, I have seen, what's the girl's name?
And they're putting over Anna G. By the way,
Right.
they keep it's like a
Yeah.
gimmick. down.
Like, dude, we already know she has a. We see it. She doesn't
Right.
have to really come out and say it. But anyways,
Right.
But what's this girl's name with the heavy set one with the?
Willow Nightingale.
Yeah, her.
Okay.
I have seen her cut some.
She's good. She's not
Serious
bad on the mic at all.
interviews.
Right.
Yeah.
She's not bad on the mic at all. So then they do a title eliminator for four-way eliminator match. So one of these girls wins the match and gets a shot at Tony Storm. So this is the dumbest thing ever. Okay. Did you know that in 4-way eliminator matches, the rule in AEW is they're all no DQ? All right. So our girl Megan Bain just randomly just came down to the match and started laying some offense on somebody, and for the first time showed a lot of fire on her face. She showed some intensity and stuff and everything when she was doing this. And but this thing basically forward locked Jade and Indian Deathlock and storm kicked forward, and then put her in a chicken wing and got the submission on her. But Penelope Ford, they haven't been doing anything with the girls. She took the loss. But what'd you think of this?
Of course.
It was an all right match. I wasn't overly, impressed. I think Jay's a future star. She's still kind of green, even though she went to Japan.
These girls, you know what I'm saying? Like I keep talking about, they got the basics down, but
Right.
when they try to do some of these complicated sequences with these, it just doesn't look good. I think these girls should be concentrating on the basics. Like Megan Bain is basically basics, basic power moves, kicks, slams and stuff. So Storm and Rosa bumped chests and then hugged after the match for some reason, even though she was in a eliminator
Yeah,
match.
because remember they were called or something like that,
Right.
and then they would bump chests.
Right. Did you know that Excalibur said that Storm is 12-0 in eliminator matches?
No, I did not
You know
know
what-
that.
Do you know what Jason Powell said?
What?
You know what would be more impressive? Those eliminator matches have been title matches. So Leo Rush and Action Andretti walked through the crowd for some inexplicable reason. So the Hurt Syndicate is in the ring, and MVP said an official announcement and introduced his allies and said they're the AEW Tag Team Champions. He said AEWs were the best wrestler, but why teams weren't stepping up for shots to the tag titles? Good point. It's like they're in a feud for the titles with anybody. They're doing this thing with MJF for weeks. So our boys Dante Martin and Darius Martin make their entrance, and these poor kids.
Yeah.
They cut a promo, but the first thing Darius said is, "You think they'd be kind of fiery?" Promo. He goes, "Hey, I know we've been down on our luck a lot lately." It's like,
Yeah,
and the other guys get all fired, like they're
Right.
overacting. Right. Yeah.
How can you support these guys? They're like, hey, if you want to see a miracle, watch. Them winning would be a miracle. Yeah.
Okay, so it's funny because they're kind of lame promo. He has fans who want to see a miracle, but the MJF right now attacked it from behind. Dude, MJF almost broke that kid's neck if that kid would have been 2 feet closer to the ring, because he clobbered him, and the kid went face down, not far from the ring apron.
And the other one, he power bombed recklessly.
Yeah.
And his head hit the ropes, and
Yeah, and he says so. He gave him the power bomb onto the apron. He beat the out of these 2 kids, okay, and then got in the ring and looked right in their faces and stared at Lashley. Said, "I hurt people."
Right.
And then Lashley told him he'd have an answer for him next week.
Thank God, because this has kind of gone long enough.
Yes, right. But this was actually an entertaining segment when MJF got out there, because these poor kids were just. I was like that. You know what I was saying while the segment was going on, right? I was like, are they really like ditching the MJF thing now after last week and just starting an angle with these 2 guys? And that's the promo they're starting until MJF came out. So that was a good spot for MJF,
Yeah.
Like, were you thinking that too?
Yes.
Yeah, right. So it's like, what are they doing here, right?
Right.
You guys see in big Philadelphia news that AEW is running a 2-week residency at the ECW arena.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor, Dynamite, a pay-per-view, Collision.
Are you going to be attending any of these shows, Joe? Are you banned?
I don't know. I was turned down for a press pass last time. So.
Well, you see Don there. Maybe Don can sneak you in the back, Joe.
Oh, yeah. I
Door.
might go, but I don't know.
Try and go get some. See if you can get a drop for the show from Tony Khan.
Yeah. And I'm going to NWA next week, and I've already got to get some drops there, Konnan. So.
All right.
So Excalibur, they go backstage to the Elite, and our boy, what's his name, is back there, Okada. Okay. So Matthew Jackson said it'd be a huge night for the Elite, and Okada called his opponent Kevin Knight tonight. Then Ricochet, and he left. Then Ricochet joined the Jacksons, said they knew they had a Swerve Strickland problem, and Ricochet said he's beaten Swerve twice and has his number. Ricochet, the Jacksons follow his lead. He will lead them to victory, and the Jacksons were cool with Ricochet's comments that Ricochet made an exit. But they're doing a 6-man tag in the show with our boy. Who was in this match again? So it was Ricochet and the Elite against Swerve. Oh, I'll get to it. Okay. I can't remember who's in the match. Okay, so then the Elite walk into the locker room where the Death Riders are, and it was so dark you couldn't really tell exactly who it was. Did you notice that?
Well, you could kind of tell who it was.
No, barely because it was dark. So then Nick Wayne's got a.
Do you like how Marina Shafir just closed the door?
Right.
She's such a
So Nick Wayne
character.
had an unnamed opponent, and it was Rhino in his hometown, but Christian distracted him and he hit him with the kill switch and they get the win. So afterwards, Christian entered the ring, grabbed the Ring of Honor TV title belt. Nick tried to take it, but Christian calmed him down and acted like he was going to put it around Nick's waist. And Christian looked at the belt. When Nick demanded he hand it over, Christian just dropped it, left. And Sabian ran out of the ring, and Mother Wayne stayed in and hugged Nick. Still haven't said isn't it about time for her to say something? Her and Sabian literally just go out there. They say absolutely nothing every week. They stand there and just like that's what they're getting paid for?
Yes.
50 quarters.
Are those 4 hours? Wow, very interesting. The opening promo segment, very compelling. That's the first time that we haven't when was the last time the opening segment went up?
I can't remember. Yeah,
I can't. It's
for a
forever.
long time. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Wow, that's interesting. Bro, wow. Well, it just goes to show you got one of your more compelling characters. Two of your more compelling characters have a verbal confrontation to start the show, and look at the number. God
well, they
forbid,
always start
right?
off strong.
No, they don't start off
But
strong.
it went up, is what.
No, did you see that, bro? See the 714?
Yeah.
The next number is always down.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
the 719.
yes,
Right.
You're right.
The 719
You're right,
is like that's the first. I can't remember the last time this happened. That
Well,
they actually, yeah. So
look how much it fell at 5:50, right after the 9 o'clock hour.
yeah, for the 6-man, which
Right.
was like a meaningless match put together that had Swerve in there. That I thought this was a step down for him because what is I don't know, maybe I'm missing stuff on the show, but he should still be strictly involved in the MJF Hangman show in that clique. But he's doing this was a 6-man match. The Young Bucks and against Swerve Briscoe. Oh, and your boy Mike. Bro, they love Mike Speedball Bailey.
Because
These
he's
guys on
good.
I'm not a fan of him, to be honest with you.
Right.
All these guys are all. This was a however you would expect this match. Just the fans loved it because it was a typical AEW match. A lot of spots and flips and choreographed spots that were very, very well executed. Except for one of them, I think one of them missed completely. Speedball Bailey went to do a drop kick and completely missed one of the.
I saw that.
Yeah, and so it had a botch, but the fans dug it. And but out of all this, okay, this is so weird, dude. They do all these devastating moves and all these kickouts, and the Young Bucks came in and caught Swerve with an inside cradle and got the 3 count out of nowhere, clean. Like, what did you think of that finish?
The first thing I thought was, if you were going to beat Swerve, why wasn't it Ricochet? Why was it one of the Young Bucks?
Right. I was like,
He's really got the feud with them. And even if you remember, and they did the backstage promo with the Young Bucks, Ricochet, he said, I got Swerve's number. Let me handle him. So that was a huge surprise. I like the match because it's very creative. You don't normally see others do. And everybody brings it. Even Briscoe, everybody brings it. They all do creative. Swerve does stuff I'd never seen. So it was good. I just cannot believe that they had a Young Buck beat Swerve out of nowhere like that.
Clean.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, what? Like, where's the heel? It's like no heel dynamic or anything. Just like there's a spot fest and whatever. I don't know. It's like whatever. All right, so this is one of my better parts of the show. MJF interrupted Renee Paquette's interview with Will Ospreay backstage. He looked at the camera and plugged the Dynamite diamond rings available for purchase. Make me richer, you poor. Shop now. That's funny. So MJF said he hopes Ospreay wins the Owen Hart Cup tournament and the AEW World Championship because taking the title from him would be like taking candy from a little British baby. Then Ospreay questioned why MJF wasn't in the Owen Hart Cup tournament if beating him is so easy. Ospreay suspected there was some fear in MJF that he would pick him up and drop him on his head. And MJF said Ospreay's the reason they put directions on shampoo bottles.
You know what's funny about that? You know what's funny about that? Right.
Yeah.
He broke character and he laughed. Yeah.
right? Ospreay will find out that nobody's on the level of the devil. He turned to leave, but Ospreay pulled him back and delivered his on another level catchphrase.
That
Yeah,
was
that
very
was-
good. Very
Yeah,
good.
this was
Big
very
catchphrase,
good,
yeah.
right? This was weird. The next segment, because Renee Paquette had a sit-down interview with Jamie Hayter, and this building was kind of like it was a theater. So a lot of the backstage areas had like couches and like looked like a library type setting and stuff, like an old school theater, right?
Yeah,
So Renee
and
Paquette-
Jamie Hayter dressed like a star, bro. The glasses,
Mhm.
what she was wearing, the colored
Right.
pants.
So this was what I thought was a sit-down interview from earlier in the day.
Right.
Is the way it was set up, right?
Right.
So Hayter was so Hayter said she'd be damned if Owen Hart's legacy would be represented by Monet, who's the antithesis of what it stood for, and said she wants to get to know the real Mercedes. She says, "Jenna Monet's star power, credentials, but she has integrity." Kept brought up Hayter missing time due to a back injury, and Hayter cut her off and said her back is fine. So Monet was looking past her, but then Monet showed up and grabbed her hair, but Hayter stood up and hit Monet, and then they battled off camera. So the broadcast team spoke, and then they were live fighting. Okay, they fought out into the arena, and just one mistake that they made here. Monet headed backstage, so then Jamie Hayter turned around and played to the crowd, and Monet came back out and clobbered her and put her in her finish because she turned her back instead of like thing. And that did the end result was actually this is good because it ended with heat for Monet, good heat for the segment, but it didn't make her look that. It made her look kind of dumb that she got caught from behind after they were just brawling. You know,
Right.
What'd you think about that?
I thought the interview was great.
Mhm.
She looked like a star. I saw like on Twitter, like she's being compared to Scooby Doo. Because remember the pants that they used to wear in Scooby Doo were kind of like that 70s style. And I do not get that. I just get a girl that looks like a star. Very good interview. And hey, at least it's making Monet's rivalry with her more interesting.
Right. I can't find it here, and I don't know if I passed it while reading this review, but Roosh cut a 1980s wrestling promo in the back on Kevin Knight. Right?
I did not see this.
You didn't see this?
Yeah, can you find that, Joe?
Joe, find the Roosh promo. Because it was really corny. Let me see. Okay, so we go up.
That's in the second hour.
I thought it was right after the Jamie Hayter's thing.
Okay.
Just,
Yeah, just it has it set. When I look up the file, it has it hour 1, hour 2.
Okay. Or maybe it was right before this MJF. All right. So next was Willow Nightingale backstage with Alicia Atout. She's Canadian, right?
yeah, a toot. What's that, a boot? Yeah.
Said a boot. Willow said luckily she's not alone. But she about her issues with the Death Riders. She said luckily she's not alone because the list of people want to put an end to the Death Riders gets longer and longer. And Statlander showed up. Statlander told Willow that if she wouldn't talk to her in the back, then they would do it here. Willow said she didn't think there was much left to be said. She said Statlander is disappointed that she didn't win the Owen Hart Cup, and Willow recalled that she could have won it last year and not been for Statlander. The Willow ended the conversation. Statlander started to walk away, but Willow pulled her back and said if Statlander wants to meet in the ring on Collision, there's a whole bunch of sickos who would love to see that. She offered her hand, but Statlander shook Willow's hand and said she would see Willow there. Yeah, this is how. I wonder if the replays of these shows have content on there that doesn't air live. Because the Roosh segment, there's definitely a Roosh promo in here where he's on the steps in the building, like on the stairs cutting a promo. It's a 30-second promo. And it was very kind of, it was funny. It was so
You
over
still
the top.
can't find it, Joe?
Just about.
Okay, all right.
Hello.
Try to find it. So he's on the stairs
Yeah.
by himself on the middle of the steps, okay?
Yeah.
In the back. All right, so then they do Okada against Kevin Knight. They love Kevin Knight now too. And Kevin Knight came out, but then Rush attacked him from behind. Then Jalisco walked out and fought off security while Rush ran Knight into the ring post. Then the security guard tried to step in, but the security guard stepping in was atrocious, by the way. This is the Willow Nightingale. I want the Roosh one.
Yeah, this goes right from Sasha to Willow. That's what I wanted to ask you. You said maybe it was missing?
Bro, you don't have
Before
something
that,
that says the segments, Joe?
No,
Like,
bro,
what
I'm
came
telling you,
after
but it's not even. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
even
missing.
in this.
Yeah, it's missing.
It's weird because but if you go back on HBO Max, the promo's in there.
Yeah,
And I'm wondering if live, if as the show was airing live, it didn't make it on the show.
This just goes right from Sasha to Willow.
Yeah. I don't know. It's
I didn't
kind of
see
weird.
it.
I can find it on
I don't-
YouTube.
Yeah, see if you can find it on YouTube. Okay. Or see if you can find it on HBO Max. It's definitely in there on the replay of the show. So they beat Kevin Knight up, and Kevin Knight basically. So then our boy Mike Bailey comes out to shoo off the Rush and the guys, but Kevin Knight's got beat up and he was selling, but says they're going to wrestle anyway. And they had a match. They gave Knight a little bit of a comeback, but he was just Okada beat him. And afterward, Okada hit Knight with a couple of Rainmakers. And then Mike Bailey ran out. So they're setting up a match for Mike Bailey and Okada. What'd you think of this?
Bro, he got a pop when he came out. I think the sickos remember him from New Japan. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and it looks like they're setting him up with Mike Bailey, which will be really good. Yeah, I didn't see that thing with Rush, which is weird.
I did, and it was on the replay of the show. And I'm wondering.
Yeah,
that's what I'm wondering. Yeah,
they kind of protected Kevin Kelly by having Rush attack him first.
Knight.
Kevin Knight.
There's another I like your people are fans of your mispronunciations too. Jimmy Utah, Kevin. Would you like to see Jimmy Utah versus Kevin Kelly? Would that be a good match? So Callis is backstage with his crew. Callis took issue with the Outrunners, wanted to face Beretta and Romero. Told the Outrunners they can find a couple of partners they could take on his family, so they set up an 8-man for Collision. Collision's tonight, by the way. I forgot about that. You know Collision's tonight, Konnan?
No.
Yes, it is tonight. You want me to read the card for Collision to you?
Yeah.
All right. Mike Bailey versus Jalistico.
All right.
Anthony Bowens versus Lee Johnson.
Not interested.
Willow Nightingale against Chris Statler Handler.
I like that. I would watch that.
And our boy Daniel Garcia against a member of FTR.
Sue.
Dude, this is a Thursday night. You got playoffs on everything. Come on, man. But I wonder if they're going to learn from that opening segment number that, bro, your stars need to be put in prominent positions on the show, and that's how you get ratings.
I've always said you need to always start off hot with something hot, and then you leave with a cliffhanger. That's the best way to book.
Right. So next week's Dynamite, you want to hear the card for next week's Dynamite?
Go ahead.
They must have, time out just real quick. They must have cut it or something, because even on Max here, it goes right from Sasha to Willow Night.
No, it might be earlier in the show. It might be just look for Bruce. 36. I 100% saw it. It was a very corny, cheesy promo. So next week is going to be Ospreay and Hank. I hate this. They're fighting each other, but they're making them tag again. This versus Takesh and Josh Alexander.
Who is it? Say the match again.
It's Ospreay and Hangman teaming up.
Yeah.
Against Takesh and Josh Alexander, and then Moxley versus Samoa Joe in a steel cage match. That's a draw.
Right.
So the Hurt Syndicate.
But that first match should be good. Go ahead.
So backstage, they asked the Hurt Syndicate
That's
about
it? That's the whole Dynamite lineup?
That's all they listed.
Okay.
Okay. Alicia Toot asked the Hurt Syndicate about making MJF wait until next week for a potential thumbs up, and Lashley was about to answer, but a guy whispered in his ear, this is their legal counsel character now.
Let me
Lashley
say
said
something.
per the advice of his legal counsel, he would have his answer next week. And he said they actually said his name, Harrison Landau.
Right.
What'd you think of this?
I thought it was funny.
Right.
Right. And I did like what Alicia Toot was wearing, that black leather outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Friend of the show, by the way.
All right. Samoa Joe versus Claudio Castagnoli. It's the main event. Which kind of, you know who's going to win this.
Right.
So, Joe, because he's wrestling for the title.
You know what?
Did you find this?
I found it, but HBO Max blocks screen sharing. That's why that's.
Do they really?
Yeah, I can't share it. All right, I'll find it elsewhere.
Well, no. See if you can do this.
Isn't it on YouTube?
I didn't see it on YouTube. No.
Oh.
I'll get it. Give me.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Try and find it, Joe, if you can. You're doing a good job today too, by the way, with having all this stuff set up. So Joe goes over, of course, submission. So then Moxley, Marina Shafir, Willa Yuta walk through the crowd. Shafir and Yuta walk off the barricade. She's still carrying the case around too. Okay. So Powerhouse Hobbs come in and Moxley stopped in his tracks. Then Hobbs entered the ring with a chair and Hobbs slammed the chair from Castagnoli's back multiple times while Moxley just sat there and watched from ringside. Then Joe set up the chair while Schiavone said this was payback for hooking Shibata. Joe picked up Castagnoli's suplex position and dropped him on top of the chair. And then Joe stood on the middle rope and then held up the chair while Excalibur hyped them for next week. And Joe and Hobbs dropped down from the ropes and shook hands while Excalibur told the viewers who'd see them on Thursday night while the heels just sat there and watched two baby faces get heat on the heel in the ring after they beat him, which is kind of, I don't know. I would have done something else. But what would you think of this?
It was all right. I don't like the Death Riders. They're not over with me. I thought, really, there were things that I liked. I'll tell you what I liked. I liked the Will Ospreay, Adam Page promo.
Well, hang on. We're going to the top five, the 5 of the week afterwards.
I'm telling you about this show.
About this show. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I like that. I also like the Hurt Business thing. I also liked the Jamie Hayter thing. I also liked the backstage between MJF and Will Ospreay. Let me see. And I also liked the Young Bucks match. They had some good things I like here. Overall, I give the show a C.
Yeah. That's what I'd say.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah. Go.
Kevin Knight, you cost me $100,000, and now you owe me that money, and you will pay with blood. Just remember, when you mess with the bull, you get the hurt.
Bro, but hey, but did you hear the crowd?
Yeah.
With
He
it.
says, would you mess with the bull? And the crowd said,
They repeated.
You get the horse.
Right. So here's the one
What
thing
did you
I don't
think about that promo
understand.
by Roosh, by the way?
It was all right. But here's the thing that and he's actually a great promo in Spanish. English, not so much. But I will say that, so why does Kevin Kelly owe him $10,000?
They had that 400 that match last week for the 4-on-4 for $400,000 that they were all going to split the
Okay.
money. So they kept
Right.
so his cut was $100,000.
That's great. I can't
He's
remember
mad
you
about
believe that. You remember that. Yeah, that's great.
Well, you got to remember that because
Yeah.
like you would have thought they would have showed a recap of that happening last week and everything before Roosh cuts the promo. So somebody knows exactly what he's talking about. You cost me $100. Like if you don't watch the show last week and he said you cost me $100,000, you're going,
Right.
how did he cost him $100,000?
Yeah, they don't even do a flashback and
Right.
even a B-roll of him saying nothing.
Right.
They do nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.